In a kingdom ruled by fear and sharpened steel, a girl from the salt mines is offered one last chance. This is your complete visual guide to Throne of Glass, a story of assassins, courts, monsters, and queens, seen through the eyes of a girl who was trained to kill and destined for more. At the center of it all is Celaena Sardothien, Adarlan's assassin. At 18, she's a legend wrapped in elegance and vengeance. Her turquoise eyes ringed with gold see everything, calculating and calm, then suddenly blazing. Her long golden hair frames a face carved with scars, 3 deep across her back, another slashed across her hand, reminders of end of Ye. Once starved and pale, she returns to court life with sharpened cheekbones, a graceful frame, and a hunger for silk gowns and steel blades alike. Whether in glittering dresses or blood-stained leathers, Celaena moves like royalty with a killer's grace. Pulled from the darkness by duty and curiosity, 2 men shape her new reality. Chaol Westfall, captain of the guard. At 22, he's all discipline. Golden brown eyes, short chestnut hair, and the stoic build of a soldier. His stance is always upright, uniform crisp, sword ready. He speaks rarely, but when he does, it's with clarity and command. Dorian Havilliard, Crown Prince of Adarlan. Charming, clever, and heartbreakingly handsome. His raven black hair and sapphire blue eyes make him impossible to ignore, but it's his wit and warmth that set him apart. In fine embroidered tunics and court silks, Dorian moves with the casual grace of nobility and the quiet ache of someone who wants to be more than a king's heir. At the heart of the kingdom, power resides in the glass castle, surrounded by figures of influence and intrigue. The King of Adarlan, unnamed in this book, yet unmistakable, a massive man with sharp eyes and a voice like clashing steel. His dark clothing and harsh presence fill the glass halls with dread. He is the shadow behind every law, every death. Queen Georgina, poised and distant. She glides through the palace in satin and pearls, her auburn hair showing silver streaks, her green eyes observant. Her words are always sweet, even when her gaze is cold. She smiles behind a jeweled fan and measures every suitor for her son. Princess Nehemia Ytger, royalty from Aelway, tall and elegant, with smooth dark skin, braided black hair adorned in gold, and eyes filled with fire and wisdom. She wears flowing white robes from her homeland and a torque of hammered gold. Nehemia is both mystery and strength, a diplomat draped in beauty, but never without steel beneath her silence. Duke Perrington, large, florid, and always watching. With his ruddy skin, thinning reddish hair, sandy mustache, and obsidian eyes, he looms like a storm cloud beside the king. A jagged scar marks his cheek, always dressed in dark velvet, always sweating, and always scheming. Lady Kaltain Rompier, flawless, pale, and poisonous. With her raven hair and calculating eyes, Kaltain moves like a swan and strikes like a snake. Her dresses glitter, her voice purrs, and beneath the fan and finery, something cruel coils, just out of sight. But navigating the court requires more than just watching the royals. Eyes linger in the shadows, offering aid or judgment. Philippa Spindlehead, Celaena's maid, older, round, and warm, Philippa wears her cobalt palace uniform like armor. Her gray hair is always neat, her hands always busy. She's the kind of woman who adjusts a hem, offers blunt advice, and never misses a thing. Theodus Brullo, the master-at-arms. Short, grizzled, and sharp-eyed, Brullo trains killers without blinking. His bark is worse than his bite, but only just. Dressed in leather and iron, he stands watch like a veteran who's seen too much. To win her freedom, Celaena must survive a deadly contest. But she is not the only killer here. These are the champions. Cain, a brute with biceps like armor and a stare like stone. Sponsored by Perrington, his black ringed finger and swelling muscles hint at darker power. He stands tall, smug, and dangerous. Nox Owen, a clever thief with gray eyes and a crooked grin. Quick on his feet and quicker with a joke, Nox becomes one of Celaena's few allies. Not every criminal lacks charm. Grave, small, twisted, and grinning with rot. His greasy hair and snake-like movements make skin crawl. If darkness could walk, it might look like him. Renault, red-haired and rough-cut, like a mercenary pirate. He stands beside Cain, mocking and merciless. Verin, all sneer and swagger. With curly blonde hair and a loud mouth, he's a bully through and through, until fear finds him. Xavier Forul, lean and pale, a whisper of a man. A master thief with thinning blonde hair and a sneer, found devoured before he could ever prove his worth. Pelor, the youngest, just 16. Tall but still growing, with freckles, messy hair, and nervous hands. A poisoner, not a fighter, yet brave in his own way. Bill Chastain, the Eye-Eater. Ordinary in appearance, but infamous in reputation. His scarred mouth and dull stare tell of horrors whispered in the dark. Ned Clement, the Scythe. Brutal, with tanned skin suggesting time in the brutal labor camps. When he smiles, it's the kind that chills blood. Yet, darker things stir beneath the glass castle, where forgotten magic whispers and nightmares take shape. Queen Elena, a whisper of power in a moonlit tomb. Once the first Queen of Adarlan, Elena appears in silver light, her hair like a waterfall of moonlight, her eyes ancient and knowing. She moves like a dream but speaks like destiny. The Ridderak, nightmare made flesh. It slinks on spindly limbs, breathes rot, and hungers for souls. With black eyes and a maw of rotted teeth, it haunts the catacombs below, summoned by dark magic and the promise of blood. These are the faces of Throne of Glass, a kingdom on the edge of shadow, a court of secrets, and a girl with knives in her smile. Some crave power, some seek redemption, and some were born to burn down empires. Which character stood out most to you? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more fantasy lore and visual deep dives.